So on the NFT, let's go back to your cats, your Gemini cats.
Mooncats.
Mooncats, sorry. The person who originally made those, did they see any value in those transactions? Or it's like they created them, they put them out there, they forgot about them. Maybe they sold them to somebody for $1 because they're like, oh, this is the silly shit that I did. But because of their age, they're turning over every 30 days and gaining traction and gaining momentum. Like, does the original owner of that cat, do they have any value?
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up. This is, I think, one of the winning points of NFTs is perpetual royalties.
Oh.
So Mooncats was the first or second, depending on who you ask, generative art that was ever created on a blockchain. Generative art existed before NFTs. Basically, it's just art that was created by an algorithm. So these cats, there was 4 billion potential possibilities, and they ended up with 25,000 because of the combination of like pose and color spectrum and all the different traits. Basically, what you can do is you could tie royalty on. So anytime it trades hands, you get a percentage of that transaction. So it started out at 1% for the older projects. Mooncats does 2.5%. It's gotten upwards of 10%, which is, to me, just like ripping people off, because now flippers, you're kind of like segmenting the flippers away from trading. Flippers provide liquidity, but if you're taking a 10% hit on selling it, like why, like, and then you have to pay taxes.
So do we know who created the Mooncats?
Yeah, they came back. It's a team called Ponderware. It was 2 guys. Now it's a little bit of a larger team.
So they've made 1% every time these have sold. They're
2.5% on every transaction.
They're just getting a transfer of Ethereum into their wherever, and they're just getting money every time these sell now.
Yeah, so if you want to go to the most extreme level, we could talk about Bored Apes, right? This is the most popular collection.
Tell me about this silliness.
So Bored Apes actually have I think it's 2.5%. Royalty might be 3%.
These are the apes smoking cigars and like getting stoned.
Yeah, so there's 10,000.
There's 10,000 apes?
10,000, yeah. That's like the standard collection is 10,000. That was set by CryptoPunks, which is also one of the most popular collections. So Yuga Labs, which is the dev team behind Bored Apes, they're getting, I think, 3%. Pretty much they made $100 million in royalties just off of them trading back and forth, right? A Bored Ape sells for $2 million, you get 3% of that $2 million.
And what is the intrinsic value of the Bored Ape?
So this is the primitive value we go into for this. Bored Apes, it obviously was born in speculation as the market goes crazy. It's moved into, to me, and the crazy thing with NFTs is everyone has a different opinion of everything because it's still trying to mature.
Right.
To me, it's a branding and marketing company. I would, if there's anything to equate it to, it is also a technology company. It started out as a Supreme of NFTs.
Same reason somebody would pay $200 for a T-shirt.
But
then it's a limited run T-shirt, so then you resell on eBay for $500, and then.
But here's the caveat though, is that since it's a NFT, since it's a token, you can apply technical practices to it. So you can have what's called token gated rooms. So whoever owns a Bored Ape, you could be behind this chat room where you have to have the Bored Ape to be in this room. And in this room, you have Steph Curry and Madonna and Von Miller and Post Malone and all these other people.
It's just a new gatekeeper. And
so now, yeah, so you're basically paying to be a part of the boys' club, the women's club or the club. But the price started at 0.08 ETH. I think it was $200 to mint it originally. And now, since the price has come down, it's about, I think it's 90 ETH, so it's about 150K for the cheapest one. But for some people, now we're getting into speculation and human psychology. How much to you is it worth having pretty much unlimited access to all of these superstars, whether they respond or not? But now you're in this room of only 10,000 other people. Is having access to Von Miller and Jon Stewart and all these people worth $150,000? There's people who pay $100,000 to go to masterminds, you know? So like some people evaluate it that way. But then now they're creating a game and a universe, and they're airdropping tokens and creating money out of thin air and all these other aspects. But that's kind of how it started, is just from social signaling.
And what do you call that? The mechanism that allows you to get in the chat room or have the dinner with?
Token gated.
Token gated. Okay. So this kind of makes sense to me because I heard somebody explaining to, oh my God, Quentin Tarantino. They're explaining to Quentin Tarantino why NFTs. And they said, hey, you know, Quentin, that picture that everybody has ripped off of John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson with the guns pointing down right before they assassinate the guy. And he's like, yeah, he's like, if I had a penny for every time that picture was on a t-shirt or bootlegged or whatever, I'd be a billionaire, right? So they said, great. They're like, what if you sold, you know, frames from your movie as it could be proven to be the only frame of that film sold by, you know, MGM probably owns the rights now or whoever owns the right, Lionsgate or whatnot. And from now until you die, once a year by owning this NFT, you get to do an annual dinner with Quentin Tarantino and talk about movies and whatnot. And he's like, oh, you could bake that into the piece of art. And they're like, yeah, you pick like, you know, 10 still frames from I think he's only going to do 11 movies. That means there's only 110 people in the world that get to have dinner with Quentin Tarantino once a year and watch, you know, his favorite film. And then I got it. Then I was like, oh, okay, this is the new cigar club, you know, that you have to pay to be a private member to. This is the new Omnia getting behind the velvet rope, right? Like that makes sense to me if there's some functionality alongside of it. But just the piece of art, I'm like, I didn't get it. I didn't get the apes.
There are pure art. I think most people in Bored Apes, and the reason why I didn't buy Bored Apes is because I just didn't like the art.
Right.
Most of it's not about the art. It's about everything else that comes with it, the social network, the social signaling.